long day. Why is it so cold outside? I don't know. Well, it's supposed to be hot outside, that's why the AC's on here. But anyways, I think you guys don't want to talk to me. You guys want to talk to two of my friends, Yong Bosch and Ruff.
Hello.
What's up?
What's up? All right. Good morning. You guys, were you guys here last night? Who just came in today? Just one person. All right. Welcome, Two-Face. He's not two-faced, but he's, never mind, forget it.
Are you with the coin?
Hi.
I'm Johnny.
I'm Michelle. You know, Johnny and I haven't been at a convention together since Toronto, right?
Yeah, Canada.
Like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So this is the first.
Yeah. So you guys are lucky.
Yeah. So I guess, are we taking questions? What are we doing?
Yes. I vote yes.
I vote yes too. I mean, I guess this is supposed to be a bleach-based panel, but I get, you know.
We've worked on various other projects together, Code Geass. So you can ask bleach questions or other stuff. Yeah, how do we? There's a few things. So yeah, there's probably games we've worked on too. I didn't even
I'm
think
sure.
about that. Okay.
I'm sure there are.
You have a question?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
What was the audition process for the first time?
For bleach?
Yeah.
You first.
Okay. Well, for me, it was the short version. The short version is I got a phone call from Jamie, and he had asked me to come in and audition and read for the parts, like a couple parts, for Ichigo, Kon, Urahara, and I think there's a couple other ones, Uryu. And so I went in, you know, and I knew Ichigo was the lead character, and so I was really focused on that one.
Did you know about the show though?
I didn't know a whole lot. I was familiar with the show because I had been to a couple conventions and I had seen, you know, some stuff about it. Like I didn't ever watch it, but I caught a little bit in one of the video rooms or whatever, so I kind of knew what he sounded like. And I actually, when I heard when he called me about the audition, I looked it up and I watched a little bit more.
They told you the name of the show?
Yeah. They didn't tell you?
No,
oh,
it was a big secret.
Oh,
I was like, what
knew.
show is it? Oh, we can't tell you. I'm like, why? Well, okay.
No, they totally told me. They're like, Bleach, the show. And I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, so I was able to listen to the characters and kind of get an idea. I mean, the main one I was thinking about was obviously Ichigo, and I went in and I remember, I don't know if it was the same for you, but like when I heard him, I thought, okay, gruff, young kind of gangster, kind of a kid, young punk kid sort of, right? And so I went in and that's how I did my first read, you know? And they're like, well, actually, it sounds a little too mean. Can you make him nicer and pitch him up a little bit, you know, make him kinder? And I was like, okay, but the scene, he was like kicking these kids' butts, you know, and I'm like, all right. But then their fear, I guess, was that maybe an American audience wasn't gonna accept, you know, that kind of character. And so they were concerned. And so I read it that way, and then they had me do like call-outs, Bankai and Getsuga and whatever stuff. And then I remember, then I got a call back. And then they said, okay, well, he sounded too nice. Can you find something in between that, you know? And so I kind of had to pick a place like within the show because they wanted to hear the nice stuff because they didn't want them to be scary to young kids, I guess. And then, so I kind of blended it throughout and, you know, I got the part.
Sweet.
How about you?
Well, I got the call from Jamie to come in to audition, but they wouldn't tell me the name of the show. I got there and I had sides for Rukia and I had sides for Orihime, yeah, for those two characters. And I never got, like, I was like, okay, well, do you want to match Japanese? And they were like, no, we don't want you to have it, we don't want you to listen, we don't want you to do anything, just give us a character. So I was like, okay, I was kind of flying blind. It's interesting to hear because I don't know how his audition experience was so much different from mine. It's kind of weird. So
well, they were trying to screw you, basically.
I guess they were. There were a bunch of girls, like all the regular girls, and then some new people, new faces, and we're all in the waiting room. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just do my thing. So, you know, they had the basic description of her, and I went in and I did my audition, and I didn't get a call back. No, I just got the call. I'm sorry, John. But yeah, and then they were like, Jamie called and he was like, we'd like you to play Rukia. You know, it's for this show called Bleach and blah, blah, blah. So I looked it up online and I was like, oh my God, it's a big show. Like, I had no idea. Which I'm kind of glad I didn't actually going in because I probably would have been nervous and screwed it up, so. And it turns out that vocally, I just sounded similar to the Japanese anyway without putting it on. So I think that was kind of, they were looking for the more natural, natural vocal match to the Japanese actress rather than, you know, having the actress push to get there. So.
Yes, glasses.
Hey Johnny, you call yourself the Center Complex King of Steel and say, nobody touch my precious little Nanako-chan?
What?
I know the guy.
Nobody touch my precious little Nanako-chan? What?
Sister Complex King of Steel.
Gosh. That's what is that, Persona, right?
Yeah, so
Oh. I don't even know the context though. Nobody touch my precious little Nanako-chan! I hope that sounded right. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yes.
If you were a jockey, who would you think of all the women?
If you were a what? A
Who was
duck.
a jockey from Persona 4?
Okay, what would I think of all the women?
You know the little quote a jockey used to say, at least in the manga?
I haven't read the manga, so I'm familiar with the anime and the game.
This guy over here on the end. Yeah.
Oh, this is for Johnny. What's your favorite cheesy one-liner you had to say for Power Rangers?
Power Rangers? Yeah, the cheesiest thing I had to say was I went back and did the 15th anniversary, did a couple episodes in New Zealand, and you know, like I remember, I kind of have to explain it. Like back when I started the show, I mean, it's cheesy kids show, you know, so there wasn't a whole lot of acting on my part, and so I remember I was coming back after like 15 years or 14 years, and I was like, man, this is gonna be the same stuff. And I wasn't sure, so I looked up what they were doing, you know, and I caught a little bit of an episode that had Dan Southworth in it, and I was like, wow, they're really acting, the stories are great, you know, it's really cool. And I was excited, and so when we got there, and I got the script, I was like, oh, nope, this is not what I saw on YouTube. This is cheesy kids show again. And so what I did is I kind of took all my lines and I just like changed stuff and made it like more natural or whatever, and they were fine with it. Except for when I went in to do the ADR, which is also another story where I showed up and they had an engineer there and they were just waiting around. It was like 30 minutes goes by and he's like, well, so are you ready to do this? I was like, what, there's not are you directing? He's like, no, you are. I was like, wait, I'm directing myself? And they were like, well, yeah. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, I guess I can do that. And they're like, okay. And so I go in there and I just start doing all the stuff, and then I had this line where I sliced through, what's his name, Rito or whatever his name is, Lord Zed and Rita's kid, and he explodes in a ball of fire, and I'm like, the line is like more phenomenal, right? And I'm like, well, what does that mean, you know? I mean, I like trying to like, how do I do this, you know? It doesn't, what does that mean, you know? It's like, phenomenal change. I don't know, you know, it's like, and I guess I'm changing him from a monster to a ball of fire. So I was like, okay, that's something you should probably shout then, I guess, you know. And so yeah, it was just weird, you know. And at first I was like, can I say something else, you know? And they're like, no. He was like, no, you should probably say this. And I was like, okay. And so yeah, I said, more phenomenal, and got through it. What was the cheesiest line that you've ever said in a dub or anime?
I don't even know. There's so many of them.
Right.
There really are. Like, you get to a line where you're in a script and you're like, really? How did you make that word? Like, I gotta say this and make it like sound for real?
Yeah.
All right, who's next? How about this young lady here?
It's a question for Johnny. Are you a brony?
Are you a what?
A brony. Like, do I like My Little Pony?
Oh my god.
Now, I don't watch it on a regular basis. But I was flipping through.
Are you
and
in?
No, I'm not even in it. But I was flipping through the channels, and I was thinking, you know, what would my daughter like to watch? And I was like, well, I'll check out this and see what this show's about. And I watched like 5 episodes. And I was like laughing. I was like, wow, this is a good show.
Guy in the blue shirt.
This is for you, Michelle. So we all know Ricky doesn't have a Bonkai, but from hearing Johnny scream it all the time, have you ever been like, man, I wish I could say Bonkai? And have you ever thought of what it would sound like?
Oh my god, you guys are naughty!
Hey, it's your call.
You
You
do
want
it
to shout
first.
this morning?
You do it first and then I'll do it.
Alright, fine. Bonkai!
I'm scared. I'm speechless. I can't do it. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Oh my god. Okay, how would I do it? Let's see. Wait, that's a good one. Let me think.
You could probably talk it. You could probably just go, Bonkai.
Yeah,
I don't know why we have to shout it.
I know, right? Could just be like, Bankai.
Bonkai. Bonkai. Boom.
Bankai.
Way back in the back.